Hi, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Lives in Launching Life with Autism, our Facebook group. This group is for parents who are new to autism, who are struggling with the chaos that autism has brought to their lives. They want to get calm, understand, and connect with their child. If that sounds like you, then you are in the right place. And I am your host, Erin Porter, family autism coach. I went through this chaos during 23 years of teaching kindergarten, and now I'm on a mission to help you calm the chaos that autism has brought to your life. What I learned in 23 years of teaching kindergarten, I took to 5 more years in spec ed, and I helped hundreds of teachers and parents calm the chaos that autism has brought to their lives. So today we're talking about timers. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Beth. Thank you for saying hello because I see, hi, Melanie. I see the number of people that are watching, but Facebook doesn't tell me who's watching. So I love when you say hi. Thank you. Tonight we're talking about timers. Hi, Liz. Welcome. So here's my question to you. Araceli, did I say that right? Can you give me a thumbs up if I said that right? Hi. I see your name and I'm worried that I don't say it correctly. But I have a question for you. Are timers pissing you off? Have you tried them and they don't work? Thelma. Right. Hi, Sharon. Oh, this is fun. Okay. Hi, Thelma, because right. I remember you told me that. Thank you for the reminder. Hi, Judy. Wow, let's just keep saying hi. This is fun. But really, we're here to talk about timers, and I want to know if timers have pissed you off. I have so many parents who have said that they've tried them and they don't work. And they're supposed to be this great strategy to help your child regulate, manage transitions, and your child either ignores them or has a complete meltdown when the timer goes off. Ruth, you don't know what timers are used for. You're going to know at the end. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, I get why timers aren't working, and I can tell you why. So tonight, we're going to change the way that you see timers and use timers. And I'm going to give you some strategies to use them in a really effective way. So we want your child to love the timer, not hate the timer. We want your child to buy into the timer and not ignore it or throw it or scream at it. So the first thing I have to share with you is that if the timer isn't working for you, you've likely paired it with some negative consequences. Inadvertently. I totally get this. You're actually reinforcing that the timer is a negative thing if you're using it wrong. So the myth about timers is they're going to work just because you put the timer on. And that's not true. It doesn't work like that. So let me explain. The reason this came up this week was I spoke to a couple who has a son who is newly diagnosed with autism. I think he was 3, maybe 4. The mom reached out. She booked one of those connect and share calls because she had some visuals that she was trying to use and they weren't working. So we talked for a few minutes and she learned that she was using the wrong type of visual for her son. So I'm not sure how we got onto the topic of timers because sometimes I just keep going, we just keep talking. But as we were talking, I realized that she was using the wrong type of timer and she was using it in the wrong way. So what do I mean by that? Well, timers are like visuals. If you've seen my live stream about visuals, you know that for them to be effective, you have to use the right ones for your child. So the same goes for timers. You have to choose the right type of timer for your child. So there are auditory timers, and there are visual timers, and there are timers that combine both. So the timers that just ding, the timers that you can see, and the timers that you can see and ding. Does that make sense? So your stove timer, and the timer on your phone, the one you just set a timer, those are auditory timers. And they don't give any kind of visual about when they're going to go off. So to use these types of timers, you need to understand the meaning of the passage of time. So that's a concept that's really hard for kids to understand. Like, what does a minute feel like? What does 10 minutes feel like? So if you're setting a timer to say, in 10 minutes you need to turn off the TV, and the child doesn't understand the passage of time, when that timer dings, you're going to have a problem because they didn't see it coming. They didn't understand when it was going to happen, and now they really don't like the timer, right? So if your child doesn't, hi Car, if your child does not understand the passage of time, then you need to first start with a visual timer, because that oven timer or phone timer won't work. So this couple that I was talking with said that the timer worked with their daughter, who was a little bit older and developing typically, but not with their son, who has autism. And they were frustrated and confused about why it would work for one and not the other. So, first you need to use a visual timer, and I have some here to show you. I've got a little show and tell thing going on. So I've got a couple. This is a visual timer. This particular one is for 10 minutes. So when you turn it upside down and the sand starts to fall, you can see it. You can see time pass, and you can see how much time is left. So a child watching this would know that there's quite a lot of time left here, and they can see how quickly the sand is going through. I love these. You can get these on Amazon, and they have, I think there's a package of 6, and they are all the same size and plastic, but each color is a different time. So if you can line them all up and use them for different times, and your child will start to understand the passage of time. If this is too much, you don't want to order something, I totally get it. If your child might throw it, I totally get it. One that I really, really like, that I use a lot, is on my phone. It's called, you can put in online visual timers, and it's called a classroom timer. So these are my favorites in this webpage. It's free. So there's a candle that burns down. There's like a pie that disappears, and then there's the egg timer. And all of these show the passage of time. My most favorite one is the middle one, the pie one. Kids love this one. I'm going to just set it for a couple minutes so you can see what happens. So there it is. You can set it. I'm going to set it for 10 seconds so you can see. So there it's set. And then the yellow disappears, and then big things happen when the timer goes off. I'll turn it on and push go. Okay, so start. So there you go. This is just 10 seconds, and then we'll wait and see. You can turn the sound off if the sound would bother your child. I guess I have the sound off, sorry. It's loud. So those types of timers give your child the visual support that they need to see time pass. When I use these in my classrooms, and this one especially, I had a big smart board in the classroom, and I would put this one up for everyone. And they would dance when the timer went off because they loved it so much. And this is also because I taught them that when the timer goes off, good things happen. So if you're using a timer to mark the end of a good thing happening, it's not going to work. If your child's favorite thing to do is watch TV and you set a timer to say your TV's done in 30 minutes and the timer goes off and they don't want to stop watching TV, the timer won't help with that. If your child sees the timer as ending their fun, they'll resent it. They might throw at it or yell at it, or um, they're just not going to want to respond to it. They might just even ignore it. So the way to start introducing a timer is to have it mark a good thing starting. So when this ends, something good is going to happen. There's a lot of timers going off here. I said a bunch of things to show you. When this one ends, something good is going to happen. So your child ends up watching the timer, waiting for the good thing to happen, associating the timer with really good things that are happening. It teaches waiting. And this approach pairs positivity with the timer. And then your child learns to trust the timer and that good things will happen when the timer goes off. They will learn to love it. I have one family that I coach, and they bought the Amazon set of these, and now their child will go and choose the timer that they want for the amount of time that they're going to do something. So that is still going off. That's further down the road, being able to use a timer like that. But you can only start to use a timer to mark the end of things that they love doing by flipping the story of the timer. So making the timer represent something good is going to happen. So let's talk like TV. So they're watching TV, you set the timer. When the timer is done, we're going to get in the car. Maybe they really like going for car rides. Or when in 1 minute, you set the timer 1 minute, in 1 minute you can have your snack. And whatever they're doing for that minute might be desirable, might not. But when the timer goes, something really good has to happen. So I coach all my clients on how to use the timer. We get really specific on the choice of timer, how to use it positively, how long to set it for, how to teach the passage of time, and when to start using the timer for more difficult transitions. So, if you feel like your next right step is to give it a go, and you feel like you have enough information from this live stream, then give it a go. Choose a visual timer and make sure that good things happen when the timer goes off. If you're still unsure about how to use it or what it's for, and you'd like some help, then type "Let's Talk Timers" in the comments down there, and I'll send you a link to book a short call to connect and share. I only do this with members of this group, and I've dedicated time during my week to talk to you to help you with questions. So if you feel like timers are your next step, but not quite the next right step, and you'd like some help in between learning today and actually trying, just book a call and ask me. I'll help you. What was the timer you had on your phone called? Okay, that is called Google Online Visual Timers, and it's the one that's called uh, Classroom Timers. Um, this one is the online stopwatch timer. That's the Pi one, but Google Online Visual Timers. I tried timers with my son to teach him patience, but he hates it. Yes, Bella, he hates it. So, what you need to do here, Bella, is to pair the timer with something really good that's going to happen. So, the patience part comes when he trusts the timer. So start small with really small amounts of time and really awesome things that are going to happen when the timer goes off. And then you can increase the time. But I totally get why he hates the timer. We're going to try and do visual timer for sitting on the potty. But if you take my potty training course, you know that you're not going to sit them on the potty and wait, right, for them to pee. Anyways, that's for the toileting course. But yes, the visual timer gives them the understanding of the passage of time. So if they're doing something, even if it's sitting on the potty like that, something good has to happen when the timer ends. So something awesome, which is a little bit counterintuitive with the toileting. So come to the toileting thing if you want to know that. Awesome. Any other questions about timers before we go? If you want to chat more, type in "Let's Talk Timers" in there, and I'll send you a link and we can talk. I would be happy to help you. All right. Good luck with your timers, everyone. Have a great night. We'll see you next time. Bye.